Thank you so much, guys, for coming back to this channel and watching. And if this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope that you stay here and you're blessed with what you see. Today I am here on a different setting. You know, I've been sort of putting off doing videos because I just haven't had the time to do it properly. Well, this is what I've been thinking in my mind. I've been thinking, oh, I need to set the chair up, I need to set the lighting up, I need to have the aesthetics, you know, because I do like a nice background. It just looks so nice on a video. But I just thought, let me just do it because I'll never do it. And I just sort of had to talk to myself that it's not about the aesthetics, it's about the message. This video came from the back of me having a conversation with my mom. We were talking about how God sometimes answers prayers. I remember someone I was watching on YouTube or somewhere, I can't remember where, and he was saying that sometimes God won't give you the money. We're praying for God to pay our rent, for God to pay our bills, for God to pay a car, or give us a car, or give us a house. But sometimes He won't give you that money. He will give you an idea to get that money. Right? And then this verse came to me where Jesus, He appeared by the sea. So they were fishing all night, but they didn't catch anything. But Jesus told them to cast the net on the right side, and then they caught a lot of fish. Let me read the verse. The verse is John 21, verse 4. And it says, early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. He called out to them, friends, haven't you any fish? No, they answered. He said, throw your net on the right side of the boat and you will find some. When they did, they were unable to hold the net in because of the large number of fish. Then this disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, it is the Lord. As soon as Simon Peter heard him say, it is the Lord, he wrapped his outer garment around him, for he had taken it off, and jumped into the water. I'm going to stop there. So I read up to verse 7. Verse 4 even starts, it says, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize it was Jesus. Sometimes God is in the midst of us. He's always there, but we're not realizing. We don't realize that He is in there. When we're going through difficult times, when we're going through difficulty, He is there. He's there with us. When we're struggling, He is there, but we don't realize it. When He gives us the idea, He is there, but we're not realizing that it's Him. And, you know, it says in verse 5, have you not caught any fish? And then He says to them, then throw your net on the right-hand side of the boat. So realize, Jesus could have just said, let there be fish on the shore, and made it easy for the disciples. But He still told them, cast the net. He made them do the work still, right? But He told them which side to cast the net. And immediately the disciples obeyed, and they did as He said. Even though, another thing I realized, they didn't realize that it was Jesus, but they listened to that voice. Because they must obviously know His voice. So they did it anyway. So they were immediately obedient to casting that net, which then allowed them to get the massive fish in the net. So that, for me, what I took from that is obedience and not procrastinating. Because if we put this in our day-to-day life, sometimes, you know, we'll have an idea. God, you'll have this idea. And for me, I believe the ideas that we get, they're just not ours. God gives us these ideas, and you can feel it so strong. You think, oh my goodness, I want to do this. I need to do this. But then you doubt yourself. You think, oh, I think that's right. Or what are people going to think? And then you just doubt. But sometimes those ideas are God ideas. But with everything, be prayerful with that idea as well. When you do have that unction to do something and you know that it's from God, just do it. You just go for it and do it, because God, like what I took from that is God is in there and He will bring the increase. As long as you do that work, as long as you're obedient, He will bring that increase in whatever it is, whether it is financial, whether it is spiritual. Because sometimes we can pray like, God, I just need to have that relationship with you, and God's saying, wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and pray. And then your alarm clock goes off and you're like, I'll sleep a little bit longer. But sometimes you just need that little sacrifice to do that work, because we can't have that connection with God if we're not putting that work in. You know, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself as well, actually. And just look at the pattern. What have you been praying for? Let's say you've been praying for a new job, and someone comes to you and say, oh, you know, I've got this company, do you want to come work with me? It starts next month. Then you're sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to leave my job, is there security? Sometimes you just have to jump and go for it, but just make sure that you leave the other job in a good way. But I am a firm believer of like, give it a go, try it, because you just never know. What I got from this text is we just need to learn to hear and to know his voice. We need to learn to know his voice, so that when we're told go, you just go. When you're told stay, you stay. There's no question about it. You don't have to even go into like 2-week prayer fasting to like think, oh, is this you, God? Is this you? Oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. You will just know when it's him. So that's what I took. Know his voice, and when you're instructed to do something, do it, you know, at that time, because he knows the right time and the right place to cast the net, or right place to move or not to move. So just be mindful of that. Another thing that I caught from that, when they got that increase, they knew that it says, then the disciples who loved Peter said to Peter, it is the Lord. As soon as Simon Peter heard him say, it's the Lord, he wrapped his outer garment around him and jumped into the water. So yeah, when they saw that increase, they knew that it was the Lord. When, you know, these things start to happen, when you start having your spiritual life back, when you start having that financial breakthrough, your marriage is working, everything is just working out, you just know it's the Lord, because sometimes some things just don't happen by your own strength. It's by his guidance. I just wanted to leave you with that, and just read that verse. I think John 21 from 4 to 7, or just read the whole chapter just to get a whole feel of the chapter. So basically that's what it is. Sometimes God doesn't give you that thing that you're praying for. He makes you do the work, so that in doing the work you build up your own strength, you build up your own perseverance. Yeah, we're not here to just get hand-me-downs from God. Come on. He wants you to also put in the work, because that also builds up your strength. And then you can teach others how you did it. But he's also giving you that idea for you to work on, to then pass on to your children or to other employees or other people, for them to also be able to sustain themselves. And this is why I also think sometimes why maybe some, I don't want to be controversial, but sometimes why us as Christians can get into this poor mindset. I used to hate that word, the poverty mindset, but yeah, why we get into that, because we're thinking, oh no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be rich because it's evil. I was in that mentality as well, where I kind of then didn't do anything because I thought, you know, oh, if I'm doing things to get money, it doesn't make me a lover of money. But I then thought, no, it's not that I'm loving money, but we need money to survive. If we don't have money, we can't keep ourselves alive. We have to feed children. It's just searching your heart, like, why do you want the money? What is it for? If you do manage to get into, you know, millions and millions, it's also what you do with that money. Are you going to help others, or are you just going to keep it to yourself and just be greedy? So it's also just thinking about those things and not letting ideas that, you know, having money is evil, or that you're greedy. So I don't even know why I said that, but I don't know if that just came into my mind, but I don't know what point I was trying to make. We do have to keep ourselves humble. Anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well. Put it in the comments what you guys think. Yeah, we can discuss that in the comments. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and another thing that I noticed, the disciples were doing their job. They were fishermen, so that was their job. That's how they fed their family, and they were doing what they do day in, day out. And the whole night they were trying to fish, but they weren't catching anything. And then Jesus came and he said, cast your net to the right side. We don't know if they were being casting the net to the right side and the left, or were they just casting it on the same side. So sometimes, Jesus will come and say, stop advertising your business with this particular person. Do it with someone else. Stop doing this and do it this way. Or I know you've been doing this, running your business this way for years. Why don't you try another way? And sometimes it can be daunting to think like, okay, it's not broke. I know I have to just keep working, and then eventually I will get the results. But sometimes God just wants you to get the results right there and then, without working and toiling so hard. And that way, if you do it the way you've been guided to, then you will get that increase, and that will be a lot more than what you would in one hit if we do obey what God says. So, but in everything, give it up to God, pray about it, and let him guide you.